Okay, what's a tarp? It's basically a big rain cover. It's also good for sunny situations. I do highly recommend to get one of these, and these are like adjustable poles, and they're about like, with the poles and everything, they're about like 1.5 kilos. Keep in mind that this is way more difficult than your typical tent and stuff. Plant your poles into the ground. Put it underneath one of the corners. It's actually not that easy. These are not going to come off even though they're shaky. Okay, what's a tarp? You see, this beautiful structure that I have behind me is called a tarp. It's waterproof. It's a rain cover. It's basically a big rain cover for your stuff and your everything that you have below your tarp. It's good for so many occasions, especially when it's raining. It's going to prevent your stuff and your tent and your everything from getting wet. It's also good for sunny situations. Now, I have the sun facing from the other way, the other angle, but you can see the shade it made below itself. It's so nice, it's so good. Everything is going to be fresh underneath it. It's highly recommended. I do highly recommend to get one of these. Get extra poles. Each tarp will come with like 2 poles, and these are like adjustable poles. These are 4 metal pieces that you have to assemble together. It's for the convenience, but you can buy extra poles, like 2 other poles, so that you can lift the bottom up as well, and you'll get yourself a very nice setup. So these tarps are can be made in so many different ways. There are like 40, 50 ways that you can make a tarp, but the most common way that a tarp is made is like this, because you need a steep surface for the water, for the rain. When it actually pours, you want it to actually go somewhere. You don't want to load it on your tarp. And yeah, this is the most standard way of setting up a tarp. The tent goes underneath it. So if you have a tent, if you have a 2-person, 3-person tent, it can go on the side. And then your table and your cooking system and your stove and everything can go beside it. Or any other kind of scenario that you want to fit underneath it, you can. You can also buy 2 tarps, and they're about like, with the poles and everything, they're about like 1.5 kilos. They're not very heavy. So you can buy 2 tarps and you can connect them so you get a bigger surface. And if you're going somewhere sunny, if you're going somewhere that there are not lots of trees, if you're going somewhere that's going to be rainy, it's a perfect thing to carry and have with you. I do highly recommend to get one of these. Let's go ahead and see how to set up this by your own. Keep in mind that this is way more difficult than your typical tent and stuff. So be with me. This is a kind of a 2 or 3 person job. But hopefully I'm going to teach you how to do it by your own. But yeah, again, remember, this is not something that you learn and develop on the first time that you go out. Remember, if it's your first time, if it's your second time, or if you're totally unfamiliar with the tarp system, do it when you have a friend around. Do not do it by your own for your first time. But this is a tutorial to show you how I set up tarp by myself. So you see, the tarp is a big flat sheet, and poles and ropes. They're all equally important. Now I'm gonna take apart the tarp to show you a little kind of like backwards of what I do. So first step, these poles are not planted into the ground. These are completely adjustable, you see. So you'll lift it gently if you want to undo it. You see, when I do that, the other parts will fall out. So the pole is like 4-piece metal thingy that you take apart like this, and when you want to assemble it, you'll just do it again like you'll do it like this. Every tarp is different, but yeah, basically you'll assemble it like this. So when you've got nothing, then you take out the poles. I'm going to take this pole out too. No, I'm not going to take apart this one. So use a time that's not windy, because you see what happens. All right, you have a flat sheet on the ground. what you want to do is that on every tarp comes with these ropes and these hooks that you plant into the ground. So what you want to do is flatten your surface, your sheet, and then on its four corners plant your hooks into the ground. So then what you're going to do is you want to connect your ropes to the corners of the sheet, and then you'll loosen them. They've got this device here, or if not, learn the knots. Search on YouTube, search on Google, and learn the knots. Maybe one day I'll make a video to teach you how to knot the ropes for camping properly. But yeah, these devices are adjustable. You see, if I want to like loosen it or tighten it, I can easily do that. You see, these are adjustable. So you want to first loosen it. It wants to be loose, okay? And then, well, you want a straight line. You want to make a straight line. And then you'll take your pole and you will put it underneath one of the corners. In a way, you see, it's tight enough to hold the pole. See? It's tight enough to hold the pole. Now, again, once you have this angle, once you have this, it's not necessary to keep the pole going. So leave it. Let it lean. Okay, you see? It leans like this, but no worries. You'll do the same for the other pole. I'd have to reassemble this one quick to show you how. Yet again, you need 4 metal pieces for one pole. Now I've got my other pole. I'll do the same thing that I did for the first one right here. You see, this is starting to make shape. You see how easy it was? It's actually not that easy. So I'll put my pole here. I'll straighten this one. So you see what I did there was that I did my knots. I planted my 4 corners, the other 2 corners, and when I actually evoke my poles, the other 2 came together by themselves. So the knots are very important, and if at any point you started to feel that these are loose or these are becoming loose or something, you'll just have to tighten or loosen your knots. That's all you have to do. But don't worry, this is a very, very subtle structure. These are not going to come off, even though they're shaky, and you might at some point think that the wind is blowing in it, but they're not going to come off easily. So have your hooks right, have your knots right, and everything else comes together by itself. That's how you set up a tarp by yourself. Be safe, be nice, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.